We're the night walkers. There are people out here at night, walking around. I represent the entire population of this kind of people. I cannot arrange a street protest. We are truth seekers. We don't believe in anything until the truth of reality is found. Believe is a dirty word. To have faith in things that are unknown is absolute ignorance, and in fact a celebration of it. We have principles. Don't be racist, don't hurt people. But racism is only a small representation of harming others. And those who are racist around me still have no problem in the mass murder, torture, kidnapping, rape, and murder of lesser races, such as every other animal, aside from humans. I walk around at night because I want privacy, because I can't sleep, because so many people who cannot fathom what my mind needs to express persecute me, and I can't get along with them. But that doesn't mean I want to go out there and harm others. What I would like, though, is for these fucking toilets to be unlocked at night. Why are there cage doors created especially to keep the night people away from living our lives as equals among you all? What is the difference between kidnapping, raping, and hurting an animal, racism, and persecution against night people? Well, for a start off, the first one's way worse. I've just got some lock cages to not let me into places, not to stop me from getting out, even though I can't escape this fucking ball, Earth. Not that it's a bad planet, it's run by bad beings, people who have little intelligence and yet have somehow become governors of us all. There should be fairness. Roads should not be crisscrossed in traffic jams, killing people. They should be underground in 3 dimensions. We have a growing population of humanity. It is going to take more and more and more land. And while we're exploring the planets, that doesn't mean we're going to have terraformed planets waiting for us in time before we destroy everything on this planet. Now, without knowing if there's a purpose to reality, and also knowing that comets will come and wipe out and create extinctions without our assistance, it sort of makes it okay to just destroy whatever we want. If there's no eternal justice going on, if there's no God or something like that, then it doesn't matter what we do. But we don't know what's important. So why set things of importance that are just made up as the priority for all? I'm a night walker, I'm a van dweller, I'm officially homeless, but there's no reason to stop me from going in here to a toilet to use one. You're going to let the people in the daytime do it. What happens at night that's so bad? People blame alcohol for a lot of violence that happens in the street. That's quite clearly a matter of females being exhibitionists and then frustrating the men into such a testosterone-fueled fury that they go and smash each other in the face. Do gay men get into as many fights as heterosexual men? Of course not. Why? It's not because they don't drink alcohol. It's because they don't get frustrated by people flirting with them only to push them away. I'm afraid to talk to a child because I'll be called a pedophile. I'm afraid to talk to a woman because I'll be called a sexual harasser. If I look at a girl who's wearing barely anything at all, or I can make out the outline of her body, I'm instinctively, as a single cell with another single cell who's split back in history, and now we need to come together, I'm driven every single day with the need to have sex. Reproduction is what the result of it all is, but I need to have sex. So if I go and talk to a girl and I ask her to have sex and she doesn't, want to, that's fine, so long as she doesn't hurt my feelings about it. Okay? And I wouldn't even dare to do it. I feel caged in by the rules. There should be consequences for people who look at those who could be perceived to be suspicious looking. I mean, look at me. Do I look normal? If you're categorizing things by normal and weird, then you haven't really got the skills to be a leader. There is a very vast rainbow of colors. If all you've got is it's not black and it's not white, therefore it must be grey, you're not fit to lead. That is a very weak analogy, thinking that everything's in between this linear spectrum of black to white. There's a rainbow, and beyond that, there are colors and electromagnetic waves and particles we can't see. That still are options if we want to have freedom in our lives. And who are you, as a leader, if you are one, to stop anybody else from doing what they want to do? What boundaries have you set on yourself that you think should be made applicable to everyone else in the world? Now, the whole gay marriage thing is just bullshit, because why would anyone want to get married? They want to express their love in a connection. They want to clamber onto each other as they fall towards their deaths, instead of falling to their death alone. That's what marriage is, really, isn't it? You don't want to be alone in this world. As you get older, everybody does exactly the same fucking thing. And you have no chance of having friends or lovers anymore, because as you age, people have just stopped using their imaginations and having fun. So it's left to people like me, at 36 years of age, to invent something like this bag screen here, so I can wander around at night, burning some calories and just staying awake whenever I want to. And is that evil? It's much more interesting to walk around at night when there's nobody fucking around than in that sort of environment where there are cars stopping you from crossing the road, there are people shoving you out of their way, and you're restricted by the hours of 9 to 5 when most people are at work, and that's when the shops are open. And then as soon as you finish work, boom, all the shops are closed. How is that a good society? If you want to end unemployment, have shifts of 8 hours as you do, but run them 3 times a day. That fits into 24 hours perfectly. And then you can just, as the government, make rules about what capitalism is allowed to do. It's as simple as that. You must be open 24 hours a day for your business to exist. Is that too much to ask? I'm going to go and take a crap at the council chambers on the front step as you walk in. Probably underneath the doormat. Because if I take it on top of the doormat, you'll see it and you won't step in it. I want you to feel the squish, even if it doesn't go through. Maybe I'll drill a little hole through the middle of the mat so it squeezes up like Vegemite through a Vita-Weat. So you get the message. Hopefully you're wearing high heels. It'll go straight onto your hooves. I don't hate women so much as their culture. Why do women have to be such fucking bitches? Why can't they just be equal? I'm sure some can, but they wouldn't have any friends because they haven't fit in with the system. I don't think any friends of mine would have any other friends either. I lose my friends like that. They're gone. I expect it all the time. I have to shut up and keep my thoughts inside. My family didn't understand me, so they let me rot. But as a result, my mum didn't, but she still didn't understand me. And with everybody peer pressuring her around to think that I'm different, therefore I must be the one that's wrong, I got stuck as the outcast. But being weird, it's not a category. if you want to categorize things. If you say weird as a category, then everything other than the small finite window of acceptability that you like falls into one category. Go travelling and you'll see that there's almost nothing in the world like your culture. You are very specific about what you like in the world because it's become familiar to you. If anything, put children in charge. They haven't got concreted over minds yet. I'm Paul Nicholson, representative of the Nightwalkers, only Nightwalker I know, aside from the few homeless people I see wandering around as well at night. And of course the guys who are still up with their balls bursting because these fucking things have been walking around with tight clothes, absorbing all that energy of people smiling, going, oh wow, you're hot, you're hot, you're hot. And they're going, I know I am, I know I am. And going back and looking in the mirror. And at the end of the night, they had a great night. They sleep sound as a baby. A tired baby that's asleep. But not men. Men will not sleep. They'll be frustrated. And they'll become angry. Potentially not the gay men. And you know what else with this alcohol accusation thing that's sort of happening on the radio at the moment? People during the daytime don't fight either. What causes this sort of fighting? The women, yes. But you know what happens after the women have all gone home? Darkness. You're locked out. There's nothing left to do. I urge you to change your council's policies on night equality. Whether or not you're nocturnal or a daytime normal person, you should be given exactly the same amount of services as everyone else. I have no backup. I have no protest group coming around the corner ready to hold up banners because there's no one else around but me. But occasionally some people like to be up at night. Look at Coles at 11:55 p.m. when they're just about to close. Boom, everybody's running in the door. Last minute, it's their last chance. Why do they do that? Because they don't feel relaxed enough to be able to go in there whenever they want to. And why should Coles and Woolworths be the only ones who are open that time? Let all stores, make all stores stay open. If people have authority and they have responsibility, if you're prejudiced against night people, then you might as well be a nigger-hating slaver. You probably already eat meat. So you probably just have no principles at all. You just follow whatever the common, specific fucking, this is the right thing to do, values as everyone else in the society in which you live, without any understanding of the principles, but simply the ability to follow and mimic the principles like a fucking sheep. Yes, sheep have lesser brains than us. And it's not about your stupidity, your level of intelligence. Yes, I'm in Mensa. I am in a high IQ society, whereas you probably are not. Most likely you're not, because 48 out of 50 people are not. But you can look at yourself and change. You can not be lazy. If you do have a thought going through your mind, I don't like this, I do like this, I'm going to enforce this on other people. Why are you going to do that? I'm thinking about councillors and government and people like that when I make this video. And I hope you'll think that my prejudices against particularly women are not something that you can think, oh well, if you're so open-minded, why do you hate women so much? As I say, I don't hate women, I just hate their culture, as I hate yours. Hate as in I would like to hurt it, I would like to kill or destroy or damage that culture and stop it from happening. If everybody was equal, if everybody was fair, if everybody had principles that they actually applied as a mathematical formula, if you hurt somebody's feelings, they will feel pain, therefore don't fucking do it. Then just live by that across the board. And don't think, oh well, these three races of Negroid, Mongoloid, and Caucasoid are the three most important races. We can just fuck around and kill and enslave and sell for profit body parts and beings of those other races because they're not even human beings, whatever. So that kind of bullshit should not stand, and I really do think that over time there should be a war to stop you, because there is one thing that war is good for, and that's stopping annihilation and persecution of the weak.